Have you been wondering what the heck is a sinking fund and how do you even decide what sinking funds you should have? Well, if so, this video is for you because I'm going to be sharing with you how you can create your sinking fund categories for 2023. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Crystal, aka Krys the Maximizer, and I am a strategic money coach. And I help moms create financial stability through proactive planning and strategic money management. And sinking funds are literally just expenses that you do not spend every month, but you're saving for them all year. Okay? So sinking funds help you anticipate what you're going to spend your money on. If you feel like things are always just coming up and you never have enough, sinking funds may be great for you to create. So now let's break down the tips and the steps that you can take to help you create your 2023 sinking fund categories. Tip number one. This may take you some time and you may be like, Crystal, I don't want to do this. But I'm going to encourage you to review your spending from the last 6 to 12 months. Anything that's not a bill. So a bill is anything with a due date. An expense is anything that you spend money on that you have control over. Gas, groceries, eating out, getting your hair done, buying clothes, shoes, outings with your friends, happy hours, coffees. Anything that you spend money on is an expense. So I really encourage you to review your spending from the past 6 to 12 months. Upon reviewing your spending, I want you to group, number two, group like things together. So if you realize you eat out every month, that's going to be grouped together as eating out, and that's going to be a monthly expense. But if you see that you've gotten 4 oil changes in a year, you've gotten tires once, and you got your brakes fixed, you're not paying for your car maintenance every single month. You're doing that 3 to 4 times per year. So then you're going to put your car maintenance as one thing, and you're going to put that as a potential sinking fund. So as you're reviewing and you're categorizing, you're going to decide, is this a monthly expense or is this going to be a few times a year expense? The few times a year expenses is how we're going to build our sinking fund categories. So number 3, once all of your things are grouped together and you know what's like a monthly and you know what's like a few times a year, then you're going to give them names. Name each category. So we have car maintenance, we have pet care, we have donations, we have birthdays, we have gifts. These are things on that side of the paper that don't happen every month. The things that happen every month, they go into your monthly budget every single month. These sinking fund categories that we're creating, the categories where you only spend money a few times a month, these are going to be your sinking funds, and you want to name them based on what works for you. So I had pet care, which is like vet visits, but I also pay monthly for like cat litter. Okay, cat litter and cat food. We don't buy cat food every month. We buy cat litter every single month. So we have a monthly expense for the cat, but then we also have a sinking fund for the cat. I hope that makes sense. So you've got to make sure that you name your sinking funds something that you understand. I've seen people have like go to Disney sinking funds because they live in Central Florida or they live near California Disney and they want to be able to go. They're maybe not going every single month, but every time they save up $200, then they decide to take themselves to Disney. So that's something that they're saving for all year that they're not going to be doing every single month. So now that you have categorized each of your categories, tip number 4, now you've got to decide how much you want to put into each category. So if you're saving for a whole year, so if you're like, all right, last year for my car maintenance, I spent $1,000 between oil changes, tires, brakes, whatever, it was $1,000. So if your goal is to have $1,000 over the next 12 months, that means you're probably going to save somewhere around like what, $85 to $90 every single month to ensure that by the time or whenever you need a tire or an oil change, there's money in that sinking fund available. So this is why reviewing your past 6 to 12 months is so crucial, because you're going to use last year as a guide for this year. So go through each of your categories that you are deciding that you're going to be saving for all year. So when it comes up, you have money for it. How much do you want? For me, for pet care, it's only like $200 a year. The vet visit's like $75. We buy cat food almost every other month, just in case he needs something special or what have you, or maybe he needs a new litter box or whatever. There's $200 a year that we can use for the cat. When it comes to birthdays, Whose birthdays am I celebrating? Like, we just celebrated my mom's birthday and I budgeted $300. When I do Kinsley's birthday, I usually budget $500. Bay's birthday can vary if we're going on vacation or we're just staying home. So how much do you want in your birthday fund? Because hopefully you don't have a birthday every month and you want to make sure maybe you need $1,000 in the birthday fund over the course of the year. Okay, so make sure you give a specific amount. Tip number 5, you have to break it up. Now, this is where things get a little spicy. Now, there are some things that I'm saving for all year. Car maintenance, I'm putting money towards car maintenance every month. Why? My car is older and I've got to pay for more things. Whereas for back to school shopping is going to be happening in July or August. So if I start from January to July or August, that's about 7 months. If I know I spend about $500 for Kinsley back to school, I know that I'm probably going to need somewhere around $80 a month to make sure that by August I have close to that $500 to shop for her. After that, I'm not going to start saving again for back to school until the following January. So this is where you're going to do your math and you're going to decide. If you have a big birthday, if all your birthdays are done by October, maybe you don't save all year. Maybe you only save until October. Or if you're going on a vacation in August, maybe you only save until August and then you start back up in January saving for your next vacation for the next year. So based on when you're going to be using this money, you can decide. Am I putting money towards this sinking fund every month, or am I putting money towards this sinking fund at specific times of the year? There's no right or wrong answer for this. You just got to decide based on what's in your budget and what money you need. And a lot of times, whether you budget this money or not, you're going to get to the point where you're going to spend it. So doing it this way just gives you the leeway, and it also allows you to allocate. Because if you know that you want to spend $500 on a vacation this summer, then that's when you have to reassess, like, do I need to go to Starbucks every day? Or can I go to Starbucks twice a week and spend $15? And the other $45 that I used to spend, that is what I can put towards my vacation fund. Or that is what I can put towards my car maintenance. Or that's what I can put towards the new wig that I'm going to be buying in April. So this is when you can really sit down and look at your numbers and really decide, what is important to me? What is important to me and how do I want to allocate my money? Number 6, this is so crucial. You have to have a place to put this money. Now, when it comes to sinking funds, some people do cash envelopes. So what that means is if they're going to be saving for pet maintenance, if they're going to be putting, $20 a month to pet maintenance, every single month they'll take a $20 bill and they'll put it in their cash envelopes. So when it's time to take their pet to the vet, they're just going to take the cash out, which is fine. I like to do a bank account. So have a checking account that's just for sinking funds. And then I use my paper budget to keep a roster of like, all right, there's $100 in the pet maintenance fund. There's $600 in the car maintenance fund. There's only $100 in the vacation sinking fund. But if I need money for one of these categories, there is money for me to pull and I'll just manage it in my paper budget. Either way does not matter. But whatever's easiest for you, do it. So whether it's in a bank account or if you do cash envelopes in the form of a sinking fund, all that means is each category will have an envelope. And as you save money for that category every month or every other month or however you decide it, you're going to put the cash into that envelope and stuff it. So when the time comes, you have money. So again, sinking funds are expenses that you spend money on, but not every month. Sinking funds allow you to anticipate your future money needs and save for them appropriately. So that way, when you need a tire, you're not scraping and scrounging. When you got to take your pet to the vet, or maybe your vacuum cleaner breaks, or maybe you need to buy a new comforter, or maybe you're like us and you got to buy that ant stuff for outside. We have like a garden, or I don't know what we call it, like garden and lawn care sinking fund, because it's not a lot, but we've got to buy mulch. It's probably going to cost like $100 to do mulch, the ant stuff, another $20. So it's like we need like $200 to $300 a year to maintain our outside, to maintain our yard. So instead of having that come up unexpectedly, we know it's coming, so we can save appropriate for it. So let me know down in the comments, what sinking funds are you going to be adding to your budget this year, and tell us what they are. And if you need help creating your sinking fund categories, better managing your money, and creating a budget, join us inside the Money Saving Academy, where we help you save up to $300 every single month. We do weekly live trainings on Zoom, and our focus is to help you create the financial stability that you desire. You can sign up at moneysavingacademy.com and use code YouTube to save $10 off your first month. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.